Welcome to Ready, Set, Real Estate, where we will help empower and educate you on many different aspects of real estate, finance, and investing. Each week, we will expand your knowledge and uncover hidden truths. We will break down real-world scenarios and study actual how-to strategies. Anyone can buy real estate, but together we'll ensure you make smart real estate investment decisions. Now, here's your host, award-winning author, international speaker, and real estate educator, Lisa Gillett.
Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, and welcome back to another information value-packed episode on Ready, Set, Real Estate with yours truly, Lisa Gillett, super agent. Okay, while the show was doing its intro, I was making sure I was setting up our YouTube stream, or excuse me, our Instagram stream. So let me make sure that's happening. Drag this screen here. Let's see, did I do it right? Go live. Go live. Yes. I am officially over there on IG. Hi. Say hi, say hello, drop a comment down below. We are on episode 245. Wealthy Squad is in the building on the IG. Say hi, say hello. Let me grab my caption here and I'll put it. So today I wanted to give really a shout out and just focus on our industry professionals, because we've been getting a lot of heat. And with this National Association of Realtors lawsuit, the NAR lawsuit, and then there were I'm in California, so there were copycat lawsuits against CAR, the California Association of Realtors. And then you've heard me say and share that the appellate court, or one of the circuit courts, I believe it was, has granted the Department of Justice to reopen their inquiry in the cooperating MLS rules. And they've also been scrutinizing the real estate contracts and forms as it relates to buyer agency representation and commissions. So in light of all this happening, and in light of knowing that all this is going to forever change, it's already changed, forever change our industry, I wanted to come on here and just educate our community and our tribe on the hard-working, unsung heroes of home buying, aka real estate agents. So this show is dedicated to you, the real estate agent, the industry professional who's been, whether you're new, whether you're a veteran, you're working hard, you came into this business and you had no idea that you would be hit with so much in such little time, or all the time, right? We're constantly bombarded with being attacked or under attack, whether it's a tech company wanting to replace us, or whether it's someone wanting to sue us because they're upset for whatever personal reasons. Listen, there are some of us out here that are doing a phenomenal job, a fantastic job. And so this show is dedicated to you, my friends, the real estate agent. I love this, the unsung hero. So, and I just thought this would be timely with 4th of July. Folks are celebrating the holiday weekend, fireworks. You're my hero, okay? You all are my heroes. And I've been fortunate and blessed that I work with people that love and appreciate and respect me and value me. And I work with industry partners and professionals when they read my email signature and they say super agent. I just connected with a realtor's lender. We just opened escrow on one of our properties. Woohoo! After some long due diligence there. And so we opened escrow, and I love connecting with new partners and industry partners. And this was a lender who, he was asking me some questions about kind of what am I seeing in the market and what's going on out there. And I shared with him, and then I shared with him about this current transaction. And he said to me, that's why your name is Super Agent. He said, just hearing what you've been dealing with in these past 2.5 weeks, he says, I'm tired already for the whole year. So listen, some of us, while I was wearing a cape back in the day, some of you all don't go out here physically wearing a cape. That was my whole movement with the Real Estate 100 movement, with empowering and teaching real estate literacy to our youth, the juventud, that's the Spanish, the juventud of our country. And so I'm here today to just share with you all and spotlight really behind the scenes what real estate agents are doing. Okay, so we're going to do classroom style today. I'm really excited about this classroom style today. I have also, let's see what else is happening. Real estate goals. Let's cover this real quick. Again, press 1 if you're here. 2 lets me know you shared it. Sharing is caring. All right, sharing is caring. And shout out to those of you who are connected on the Nextdoor app. I love Nextdoor app. I love the community because it's literally our backyard and we get to connect with folks. And so if you're streaming and connecting with us from Nextdoor app, welcome and thank you for joining us. And you've got a great show ahead of you. If you're new to the show, we are available on radio podcasts everywhere, all your favorite podcast platforms, Spotify, iTunes. They used to do Google Pods, but that's no Google Podcast. That's no longer available. Let me slow down. I've got a lot going on. Hold on. Let me take a sip. And we were doing giveaways. So, you get a fancy, one of these things right here. It says ready set real estate cups. I love these cups. Okay, I'm feeling much better. So lots happening on the show. We've been going now 7 years. I think I got a Facebook memory that popped up of my first little intro video that I had, like, the animated stuff when it first became popular 7 years ago, before podcasting really became this big thing on podcasting. So you all have been fantastic for rocking with me this long. I'll do a quick background. Lisa Gillett, broker owner of a boutique firm here in SoCal, in Southern California, Devenio Estates. Been licensed for Carl Smith says I'm picking up mine. Listen, I'll get one shipped out to you, a 16-ounce cup. Okay, it is my gift to you. All right, continue support, love and support over there. All right, and so 17 years. I think I've across 18 years as a licensee. My brokerage is new. It's still a baby and growing. We just added another agent to our brokerage. So you listen, if you know someone, it's so funny when she reached out to me. She said, Lisa, I don't see that you're hiring, but are you hiring? And it's almost like a secret. I am bringing on a select few of agents that I'm going to pour into, to put all my training experience, all the super agents in me will be poured into this next gen of agents. So if you are interested in joining our classes, the next one is coming up July 6th. So join our agent training. You can visit, I'll put it in the chat below. You want to check out, so sign up at LASuperagent.com. All right, so sign up at LASuperagent.com. The first 2 sessions are on me. If you're not a member of Ready Set Real Estate, or if you're not a member of Devenio Estates, it is a paid session. So the first 2 are on me, just so you can get a feel for my training styles, and you're welcome to continue as we've done back in the day. So in 2019, if some of you know and followed me, I pumped out over 100 classes, 100 classes during the pandemic. So, and ERGJ was one of those folks. Evan was one of ERGJs in the building. Shout out to Evan Jefferson, my friend, my brother. So Evan was part of that. He knows, he saw that. We pumped out over 100 classes. So today I want to spotlight. I'm going to get back to the spotlighting here on our industry professionals. I was sharing a little bit more about my experience, trained, experienced, and certified. I'm also in my last year of law school, so I'm not here giving legal advice. That will come soon with another nice disclaimer. But do know the information that I share on the show is for edutainment purposes, educational purposes, informational purposes. If you have a unique situation or some circumstances, please consult those reputable licensed professionals, your real estate professional, legal professional, tax professional regarding your unique situation. This show's where I have fun and I get to share with you all the ups and downs in real estate, sideways, and all that other stuff going on. And, just this is where I have fun and I get to be a little bit in a more relaxed environment. Evan says, finish strong. I am finished strong. I am currently doing, so let me say this real quick. For those of you I've reached out to and I've asked, can I use you as a personal reference for, there's a section of the attorney application called the moral character determination application. It is to determine my honesty, integrity, transparency, and all things I need to be as I move forward in seeking to be a representative, an officer of the court, right? As an attorney representing the general population of the state of California. And they want to know, am I fit? Am I fit to do this? Am I the right person for this role? And so thank you all that I've asked to be a personal reference, because when I submitted that application by like last Friday, by Sunday, a lot of you were like, hey, the state bar has already sent me an email about you. So thank you for getting that completed in a timely manner. I have started this process 12 months in advance of sitting for the state bar next year. So next summer, all goes well, finish strong. I'll graduate with my JD, that's Juris Doctorate degree. That's jurisprudence, meaning, I am I've studied law, doctor of law, if you will, that whole thing. And so with that degree, I will then be eligible to sit for the State Bar of California. And that's a 2-day test. So as I get closer to that, you'll start to hear me talk more and more about the whole process. Right now, it's finishing strong, as Evan said. I'm in my last year. I'm taking my favorite topics and subjects, which is community property law. I'm taking administrative law, so dealing with government agency. If you all didn't know this, I happily shared how I appealed a parking violation and I won. I got the judge to reverse the decision in my favor. Take that, City of LA Parking Bureau. How dare you give me a ticket that doesn't belong to me for a car I no longer own? So this is me using our legal process. So, and it was wild. It was the wildest thing. Anyways, I go off on a tangent. Today, we'll be talking about our unsung heroes, the real estate agent. We'll do classroom style. I'll bring a PowerPoint to share right after this sponsor break. Who's today's sponsor? No other than Devenio Estates. Shameless plug coming right up. We'll be right back after this break.
We know how challenging it can be to try and sell a home while also dealing with other financial and legal matters. We're here to help. Devenio Estates is the real estate firm you need to make sure your unique situation is handled as quickly and efficiently as possible. Our team of professionals has a combined experience of over 30 years in real estate, construction, and finance industries. As active professionals in the industry, we know the importance of timelines and pride ourselves in providing superior service without compromising integrity. We use industry software and copyrighted proposals so that our real estate agents submit accurate and complete listing information and buyer offers. Our goal is to exceed your expectations and set Devenio Estates as the go-to real estate firm for excellence in advocacy and superior services for our clients. Contact us today to learn more about our services.
Nice. All right. And we're back. episode 245. That means we've gone 245 episodes strong. If you've been rocking with me since Shift Your Thinking, I think I did over 300 episodes there on Shift Your Thinking Tuesday. So if you're into personal development, spiritual development, and need to be loved on and need some friendly reminders about, hey, this thing that we call life is us having a human experience in our spiritual beings, right? And we've heard that said in different ways. And I had a fantastic time doing Shift Your Thinking Tuesdays. The person you see I am today has been as a result of Shift Your Thinking, personal development, reading, and choosing to be different, do different, think different. And I just love the space I'm in right now. I love, you know what, there's a message. I was just sharing this with my husband, by the way. I said, I love what's happening right now. I love the space I'm in. And I love these challenges that I have and being able to see it through. And one of the affirmations that I've given our children is the power of my mind. I have the power of my mind to find the answers. So if you're running up into an obstacle, you've got your back against the wall, just trust that you have everything you need. You have access to everything you need. All you need to do is ask. All you need to do is ask. Closed mouths don't get fed. Okay. All right. Let's get back to the show. Classroom style today. Boom. So let's talk about our real estate agent. They're just not a licensee. Okay. This is someone who's gone through the process and requirements of learning what they need to learn. Let me put my phone on the vibrate here real quick. And they have gone through that process. And so they've had to take 3 college courses. So if you're someone who's thinking about jumping into the career of real estate agency representing buyers and sellers in the sale of real property, that's real estate, you've got to take, at least in California, 3 college courses. That's usually principles, practice, and an elective. You've got a choice of different electives to take with that. You've got to pass a state exam. I believe passing rate is 70%. Someone correct me. Someone who's recently taking your license. And a background check with the Department of Justice. So there is a minimum competency here. This is not just someone that, as I've seen in other countries, I'm not going to name the country, but I've been in other countries where people will hand me a business card and said, you know, if you want to buy real estate, I can help you. And you're not regulated. No one knows really who you are, what you do. So at least here there's an oversight, there's regulation, and there's a minimum competency test to say this person is qualified. And this is why this is why agents who are not brokers, because brokers need X amount of years, hours, experience to sit for the broker exam, agents are required to park their license under a broker. So that means even as a licensee, they are not able to act in real estate activities or duties without first being associated with a broker. Why? Because that broker's responsibility is to supervise the activities of that real estate agent. So the good news is you've got a team of competent people. Advocating for you. All right. So that's a good thing here. Now, here's what I wanted to spotlight. Again, behind the scenes of things that you probably aren't paying attention to, rarely get to see or hear. And I'd love to get more of my agents doing more podcasts and doing more webinars and workshops. And if you ask, especially when I've done the trainings with these agent professionals, and if you ask them, what is their vision? Why did they get into real estate? What is their mission? You'll find that they have a common vision. And it's to not only improve their lives through real estate, but those are their clients, turned friends, and partners, referral partners. You're there to support their growth, their business, and vice versa. They're there to help guide you with what they continue to learn in real estate. So they become your real estate expert. More importantly, there is a bigger overall mission for the real estate agent. And you can ask each one of us, and you'll hear something similar as to why we got into this business. What is it about real estate that moved us in this direction? Because this is something that affects not just you as the individual, but you as your family. Your family thereby affects your community, your neighborhood, your community on a local level, and then state level, and then national level. So this is something that transcends a lot of isms. If you've taken any one of my courses, my trainings, you know that real estate transcends a lot of isms. Racism, classism, socialisms, right? A lot of isms. What does that mean? That real estate impacts every aspect of our daily lives. So you'll find that we have a common mission is to improve the home buying experiences or leasing experiences for those who are in rentals of those closest to us and be a valued member of our community. There's a big mission here, believe it or not. It's not just commission breath. If you took one of those 100 classes in 2019, then you know we covered commission breath and running to agents who lead from that space, which is leading from the money first rather than leading from education, empowerment, and information. There's a difference. And you all know this. You all know this. Look in your job. You know, you've looked to your coworker to the left or the right of you, the front of you, the back of you, the rear of you. Your coworkers are not all there for the company mission or the company vision, and they all are self-serving in some way, shape, or form that may not necessarily benefit the clientele or the customer. And so I say that in context of in our industry, the real estate industry, we've got the good and the bad. But today, I'd like to highlight the good and the great of what we do as real estate professionals. We're independent contractors. Depending on the brokerage we join, there are various business models where we serve to run and act in our own right as independent contractors, or some of us may feel more comfortable in serving our clients as a W-2 employee, meaning we'll be limited with specific tasks of showing properties or negotiating contracts or handling the escrow process, handling the closing process. So that depends on the agent's preference and how they are showing up in their business. So it's important to understand that your agent is not just that new licensee or that veteran licensee, but guess what? They may be able to help you learn more about entrepreneurship or how to run a business, because these are things they've got to learn. They've got to learn how to put an effective business plan in place. Right now, lately, we've been noticing there's a lot more conversations about succession planning in business. Succession planning in business. What does that mean? When you pass away or are incapacitated, what is to happen to your business, to your clients? And this is a very important conversation as we're noticing the torch is being passed on to the next generation. In these last 4 years, I think I've learned and have seen probably 4 veteran agents that have been doing business in real estate for 40 years at least have passed away. The question is, did they have a succession plan in place? Who takes on their legacy? What happens to their book of business? So by the way, if you're an agent and you need someone to work with you on the succession planning, and let's talk, especially for during the pandemic. And right now that we know there's a mass exodus of real estate agents leaving the business because of the changes that we're experiencing. Hey, don't just leave. Get connected with somebody that can possibly work your book of business, your clients. There's something there. Don't just walk away. Don't just give it all up. Work on putting a succession plan in place. And that's just not in real estate. This is, hey, a conversation again for all entrepreneurs and business owners. So again, your real estate agent is not just someone who is focusing on getting you through the home buying experience, but this is someone who's actively running a business. They're learning so much in sales, marketing, taking professional development classes, seeking therapy or counseling for themselves, coaching, having spiritual coaches, finance coaches. I've got a list of coaches that I've had throughout my years to fine tune what it is that I do so that I can continue to show up for my clients. How many of you have leaned on your agents as a counselor, right? As that quote unquote therapist, because you are all experiencing life events. We talked about this on the last show that every life event triggers a real estate need. I'm currently talking about this in our agent training session right now called Get to Know Your Business. By the way, as a reminder, we are doing our agent training sessions. Let me throw that back up there. So for those of you who want to attend, come join us on Zoom. And we're getting to know our business and realizing that when people have a new marriage, death, divorce, what else? Marriage, death, divorce, job loss, new job. These are a pandemic. These are things that trigger real estate need. Someone needs to sell, buy, lease, downsize, refinance, do home improvement. And what better opportunity and time to connect with your real estate agent or professional to lean on for some help, for some guidance. What do you think is best? I've got clients that oftentimes say to me very upfront, Lisa, I don't make a decision without consulting you first. I've saved countless of people from those nasty PACE liens and hero liens and getting scammed and bamboozled. And some of you have connected with me too late after the fact, but we've been able to work through what resources are available to counter those PACE and hero liens that then end up showing up on your property taxes when a salesman, when a contractor acting as a salesman, even acting as a finance, the role of a lender, comes and pitches to you and says you can get all this work done at no additional cost, right? No out of pocket. Just keep paying your mortgage or your property taxes, but they don't tell you just really how that works. So again, your agent professional is someone who's going to know what's happening locally in your community, what's real, what's not. There's right now one happening for the city of LA. For those of you who are in LA, I need you to pay attention to the announcements from the city of Los Angeles regarding the increase in the sewer rates. There are some public meetings happening. You may have gotten a notice, and there's a form in there to protest the increase. If there's enough response and enough homeowners to protest the increase, they will not change the rates. Okay. See, again, your local real estate professional would know that. They would know what's going on. Okay. Moving on. Professional development. So your agent is there not learning about the local community, learning about what's available to them for you. But there's also this important part of our business that requires us to be trained and learned people or learned persons of these issues at hand. Client awareness. So being active listeners to the needs of our clients and the customer. What do you want? How to best solve what you want, because that's what we do. We offer solutions. We are problem solving, right? We are problem solving. There's been this conversation, and especially in housing, we've been dealing with this since the beginning of time with fair housing, discrimination, learning what resources available. If you've been keeping tabs on the show, learning from the show, you know that LA County and more of the counties in the state of California are doing corrective work with removing the deeds that have shown discriminatory language from back in the day, where they specifically did not allow people of color, communities of color, right? If you were Afro descent, if you were Filipino, if you were Mexican descent, if you were any of those folks who were trying to purchase in some of these areas, there were restrictive deeds that had racial covenants that said properties could not be sold to you if you were one of those members of those groups. So in order to do away with that painful time in history and what had only created such a wealth gap and homeownership gap with people of color, this is why you've heard me say, if you ever want to rebel or do something of an act of rebellion, try homeownership. Because a lot of the programs, a lot of the companies that have been around since the beginning of time have some very, very damaging history where they were against home ownership for communities of color. And so cultural sensitivity has been a very, very key thing and a growing movement in the real estate industry. More people have said and have awakened, right? Have awakened to the damage that has been caused, the historic damage. So there's continued training on working with diverse groups of clientele. We are now, as part of a new bill that had passed in the state of California, we are now required to take implicit bias trainings. You yourself may be required to take these type of trainings at your job. Implicit bias trainings are a more common conversation, not really aware that you may be engaging in discriminatory practices against people for all sorts of reasons that have been ingrained in you since your nature and nurture experiences, meaning your environmental or your, genetic makeup for whatever reason. And then there's a professionalism that the agent is constantly working on in their conduct, both online and offline, holding themselves to a higher standard. We see you. I see you. When I see some agents post, right? We're constantly being aware that we are people that represent, we're licensees of the state, representing advocates in housing, whatever your role is. And so being mindful. And even when we see people post things online or there's conduct offline, we say, that's not cool. That's not right. You've had to report some violations to protect some people. There's a lot of behind the work that's happening that you don't see real estate agents doing. Oftentimes we hear in the news, we hear a lot of people counting their money, right? How much money they're making. Or how much money they're, it's like, come on, you couldn't put the amount of hours that I put in. You couldn't quantify that in the amount of hours I put in above and beyond, provided with expertise and experience. This is why my affirmation is that I work with people that only value and respect me and happily pay me. You should too. Okay, we have access to innovative tools. Here's another reason, valuable information, why you want a real estate agent on your side. Because real estate agents, at the end of the day, we are bombarded with the next latest trend in technology, the next latest trend happening in our industry, which helps us produce not only quality reports, but helps us simplify our market insights, the data, and make sense of it all so that you can understand it. Some of my favorite apps, and I'm not promoting this, I probably have a referral link somewhere, but I'll say, like, for landlords, I use them, and it's Rent Ready. I really like Rent Ready. Rent Spree, I really like Rent Spree. I'm I'm not being paid to promote them, but that's an example of innovative tools that CAR has partnered with these companies to offer us, and then we can offer that to you. And oftentimes I've referred clients, if we no longer are going to assist on leasing, anything beyond leasing. We were doing property management, but beyond leasing, I've advocated those tools so that you can get reports on how much the rent should be in your area or your property. That way you can get an idea. And I love the reports are easy to read, they're understandable, and those tools make it easy for us to communicate and simplify things. Take this really complex subject to something that you can really understand and it's user friendly. So again, we have access to that. Why? Because we're sought constantly by vendors to pitch products, buy products. I mean, this is a $1 trillion industry, $1.2 trillion industry, not just in commissions, but in new money being generated. This is a huge industry. And so we are constantly being targeted about the next best thing. Trust me, hang with me for a day. You'll see my phone ring all the time, or get solicitations or text messages about something to sign up for, something to buy. And so it's my job to, when I have time, I take those calls and I find out. I talk with the customer service representative and I learn about what's available because I'm in sales. So of course I'm not going to, I don't detest sale calls. I do detest spam calls, but I don't detest sale calls. I welcome them. And I have a conversation with the salesperson and they tell me, hey, well, if not now, maybe next time. And this is what we're doing. And this is how it'll help you. So imagine that's a daily for us, sifting through the next best tools to continue to make us be sharp for you. You with me? Here's my favorite that maybe a lot of you didn't know, that a lot of our real estate agents are industry leaders. I've got a pool. If you check out my network, I've got some bad leaders in my network who are doing awesome things. So real estate agents participate in legislative meetings, act as committee leaders, board of directors for various local boards, nonprofits, and for-profit businesses. It's not just in real estate. These agents are also a part of other things in other industries, like myself. So when they're part of committees, guess what? They can channel their passions and experience into a space to give back and help other professionals unlock something within themselves, learn something, and we build and grow together, all working for a greater cause, which is what? To make the practice of real estate better for everyone else. Their board of directors, both for local boards, associations, and businesses, both nonprofit and for-profit. So here you have access to people that are part of bigger things, doing big things. Yeah, doing big things. And part of legislation. They're housing advocates and making change for equal housing rights and so much more. Right now, the big thing right now is ADU. I just saw there's a lawsuit in Beverly Hills against the city for not allowing the build of new construction, affordable housing. Go figure. NIMBY is still a real thing across the state. What is NIMBY again? Not in my backyard. There are some communities and, political groups or private residences or private, I said that right, private residents, persons who are not excited to have affordable housing in their area. They say, put those people over there, not over here, not in my backyard. And so there's been a movement for a lot more. We're seeing, I forgot what it was called. I think it was YIGBY, which is yes in God's backyard. YIGBY is a new movement, is because faith-based organizations are working with developers in the city to use their parking spaces, their lots, their vacant lots. And we're starting to see that pop up if you're in the inner city area or the greater LA or the LA Basin area, you'll start to notice a lot more of the faith-based organizations have used their property to not only get those tax credits and tax benefits, but also help their church members, right? The members who are supporting them, and they're creating affordable housing. And so there's math to that. There's usually 10% of those units are allowed or required, not allowed, required, must be affordable housing. So we're starting to see a lot more buildings go up in LA. So different now, so different. So those are real estate conversations and that agents are a part of, that are actively a part of, have access to the list. Hey, this new project is coming up. I'll see emails go out. Hey, share this with your folks. If they're looking to get on affordable housing, senior housing, Seeds LA off of Manchester and Vermont in that Manchester corridor area will now have they're almost done. And so they're providing Seeds LA is a boarding school for unhoused youth. So not only will they be able to matriculate to some of the best schools in the country, but they've got a network that will be providing for housing and education. So we're starting to see a lot more movement and advocacy for meeting the needs of the lower to median income communities, which is, as we see, I don't know if you've heard this recent report, but LA is leading the country in homelessness. And your real estate agents are part of that conversation and movement to make a difference with that, because that affects all of us. That affects all of us. We see your real estate agent as part of charitable activities. They engage in charitable services and opportunities. Some of you know me mainly from what? Super Agent, leading the Real Estate 100 Youth Foundation. That was our nonprofit arm. We then dissolved that and decided to become a supporter to various nonprofit organizations, bringing in our literacy component to what they already do. I've worked with Misla, Made in South LA, co-founder Cassie Betts, doing her thing, and she's helped bring tech to the inner youth of LA. She was the one who spearheaded the Best Buy Teen Tech Center right off on Western and 60th. That's where I was teaching our real estate literacy program. They've got boot camps happening right now in engineering, music production, all things creative. So check them out. So that's an example of many examples of real estate agents that are involved in charitable and volunteer work across this country. But we oftentimes don't hear that, right? We're hearing all the negative news of what's happening, but we don't hear our unsung heroes being spotlighted for their volunteer work, financial contributions, their passion projects, and again, more community advocacy. But they're out there doing it. Find out when you work with your real estate professional, hey, are you part of any charitable organization? Or, and you'll see a lot of us may market that and advertise that, hey, we take X amount of our proceeds, the money we earn, and we donate it to a good cause. That cause is either for, pets, foster youth, for single moms who need support, domestic violence. There's so many different organizations, like I said, that are available that we are actively a part of. We encourage it because it's what's being a well-rounded real estate professional. These aren't my guidelines. It's not my requirement. But when you talk about being an advocate in your community, these are things that you naturally, or it's a natural progression to be involved in these things. You cannot not be involved in your community if you're a real estate agent who cares about what you do. And then they've got an expert team that they bring with them. This is what blows my mind when someone says, I'll forego a real estate agent. Like, what? So you mean to tell me you have a list of vendors and people that you can call on, that you can trust, keyword trust, right? that you can call on to help you navigate your contract contingencies, timelines, et cetera, et cetera. Right now, this current buyer contract has a 7-day contingency. Through the agent's network, they're able to get their inspectors in within a 7-day period. Good luck with trying to find somebody who has never done business with you to come out in a very short advance notice, right? Or short notice, not advance, short notice. Hey, I'm buying this property. Can you come out and do an inspection in the next, 3 days? And then make sure I have the report within the next 24, 48 hours? No, right? Who are you? That could typically be the experience you run into. So you have an expert team with home inspectors, your general home inspectors and other specialized contractors, your roofer, your plumber, a person who's in foundation, your survey. Oh my gosh, there's a laundry list, your electrician. Oh, laundry list of folks. To inspect one of the biggest investments that you are going to make in your lifetime, likely. Unless you're Evan, all right? Billionaire Evan Jefferson. he's on to bigger things. And so who are readily available to help with your transaction are these folks. Your lenders, mortgage brokers, and loan consultants that can offer various loan products tailored to your situation. Listen, I encourage you. This is when I say, when someone says to me that the bank denied their loan, and I'm like, the bank is not the only person with money. You need to work and check with other lenders, other mortgage brokers, because why? Every company has their own underwriting guideline, meaning this word called overlay. They'll add an overlay as to what their requirements are as it relates to the amount of risk that company, lender, is exposing themselves to for each borrower or types of borrowers. So understanding that alone, right, that just came from the advice of a real estate agent, understanding that alone, you now know, hey, if I get denied a loan, it doesn't mean I can't get a loan. It just means that bank is not willing to do business with you. You don't meet their criteria. And I've had to repeat this countless times, and I'm repeating it again because the people in the back need to hear it. The people in the back need to hear it. If you get denied a loan, find someone else. Don't just give up on your dreams. And you find a real estate agent that's advocating for you. There may be some things you need to tweak. Your credit, pay off some debt, need to be at your job a couple more months. We need to write a letter. You might need a gift letter for down payment. You need additional funds. There's different ways and different things, different scenarios that pertain to you. So work with a team of professionals. That's what your agent brings. And then you have your title and escrow. Oh, my favorite people. Oh, they don't get enough shine. They don't get enough shine. But my title and escrow team out there who collectively have an experience of over 50 years, I think on average, any of these escrow and title companies, when you put them all together, the knowledge, this is why I love hanging with them and love speaking with them and throwing them different questions and saying, what about this? And what should we do about this? It's not just me. It's just, I get to lean on them and their experience and their expertise. I promise you, you have a conversation with an escrow officer. Have a conversation with a title officer. The things you will learn, the things you find out, mind-boggling. And then when they pour into you, that becomes part of your depository, right? Your repository of information and knowledge. So I'm going to wrap it up there. I didn't even think I'd go 49 minutes on that information. But if you need to reach out to me, you want to sign up for the agent session class training, or if you got a specific situation you need consultation with, free, no cost. I wouldn't say free, but no cost consultations for those experiencing a death of a borrower, foreclosure. You've got some situation that you need to run it by a professional. feel free to reach out, Lisa at LASuperagent.com. Again, Lisa at LASuperagent.com. And you've got my number right here, 323-488-3265. Text messages are welcome. Again, if you haven't received, I like freebies. If you haven't received a Homeowner's Guide to Success, there's a great Homeowner's Guide to Success provided by the CFPB, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. It's got a budget sheet, it's got a planning, it's got resources if you're facing foreclosure, some type of assistance that you need. They've got the hotline number to HUD and housing counseling, housing agency counselors who are available to assist you with your situation. So if you haven't gotten it, send me an email. I'm happy to email it to you. Okay. So it's a great resource and guide to stay housed. That's the important thing, is to stay housed. And that's my time, folks. You have all been amazing. We had a great attendance today with you showing up. I do want to see you this Saturday morning. If you're an agent, new agent, or you want to come on and just be with a network of agents, we'll see you Saturday morning, 9 a.m. sharp. We get going. Send me an email or go ahead and register at LASuperagent.com. There's a contact form. Fill that out. You'll get the Zoom link. We'll see you in the morning. All right. And with that, I say have a powerful, productive week, a safe holiday. We'll see you next week on another information-packed episode right here on your favorite podcast, Ready, Set, Real Estate. Take care, y'all. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Ready, Set, Real Estate podcast with Lisa Gillett, the LA Super Agent. Please like, subscribe, and share LA Super Agent everywhere on your favorite podcast